you
So,
doing?
hi,
Hi,
the
Nancy.
Hey.
boys. Exciting. So I have so many questions, but for starters, I mean, the ending of season one was like, what?
Yeah.
Especially for Butcher.
Oh, listen, there's no way to sugarcoat it. The end of season one for Butcher was a massive kick in the testicles. To find out that Becca Butcher is alive and has a superhero son was a complete game changer and really sets off the trajectory for Butcher in season two. Season two for Butcher is all about finding Becca, rescuing Becca, and exploring the lengths at which Butcher is willing to go to make that happen.
You took a little bit of my question because I was going to ask you for this season. I mean, knowing the truth now that everyone was doubting him or not really, believing his feelings, do you become a little more or much more angry, or do we get to see a little bit of a softer, vulnerable side of him?
Well, it's interesting. After season one, Butcher, when we find Butcher, he is on the back foot. The boys don't trust him. In fact, they hold a grudge against Butcher because of the fact that he abandoned them at the end of season one. So, Butcher really has to work hard to regain their faith and their trust and their confidence in order for him to get their assistance to help him on his goal. Butcher still wants to bring down Vought and take down the Seven, but his main priority is rescuing Becca Butcher. And it certainly, this show tends to punish characters who choose poorly and reward characters that choose wisely. And this season very much explores how far Butcher is willing to go and the price that he's willing to pay. And MM brilliantly serves as a wonderful conduit as an insight into Butcher's conscience, reminding him of the right choice to make.
Well, let's talk about Mother Milk. You're like that from the voice of like reasoning, and I heard somewhere like about a voice of morality. So what do you have in this new season coming up? Who are you gonna have to really knock some good senses into the most?
Well, the funny thing is that Mother's Milk in many ways was brought in to the show. Butcher went and recruited him, and I feel like he recruited him to keep him somewhat contained, which is quite a task to do when he's literally on the warpath, seeking revenge. In season two, Mother's Milk gets a promotion. Now he has to keep Huey contained as well as Butcher, as they're both on a warpath now, and they're also at each other. So, it really becomes this relationship that we tend to see. It's a family. It's a family like any other family. It's dysfunctional. You have the nurturer, which is Mother's Milk, and you have the disciplinarian, which is Butcher. And, we have to find a way to make it work. At the end of the day, we're fiercely loyal to each other. We love each other, and we have our differences, but we get over it, And so that's where I think Mother's Milk resides, is in that place of holding everybody back from turning into these ravaged, revenge-seeking, beasts, who really at times forget their own, mortality when it comes to fighting these soups. They could care less that they could die, and they don't. And I love the fact that the boys see themselves as soups. We don't have any powers, but we really never let that stop us. There is absolutely no doubt in our minds that we can beat these MFs up.
Even Huey, right? He might not be a superhero. Might be a soldier, but he's awesome.
Absolutely. And he's fearless. He's fearless. Even in his moments of fear, he's fearless. So it's a fun dynamic. It's a show within a show. It's a family sitcom. What'd you say, Butcher?
Yeah, I totally
Karl?
would.
Like All in the Family.
For sure. So can you tell me a little bit? There was a scene that was shared during CinemaCon at home. How much fun did you have doing that? I mean, that was very from aside of season 1 and the little bit I had a chance to watch for season 2. That scene seems to be the most like hands-on. You guys are in water. It's a whole other territory now. I mean, can you share a little bit of the challenges we're going to get to see for season 2, where they took you out of your comfort zone and away from season 1?
I tell you who was taken out of their comfort zone, and that was Jack Quaid. Eric Kripke wrote the scene that the boys are speeding along the water in this speedboat, and I happen to be able to drive boats, and I think that's partially how the idea was formed. But poor Jack Quaid's never really been in a speedboat before, and certainly never ridden up the front. And the day that we were shooting that sequence, there was quite a bit of chop, and we were getting serious air. I mean, we were, flying through the water. And I remember we did a couple of runs. We had a helicopter hovering 100 feet in the air shooting us, and it's actually us doing it. There's no green screen, bullshit going on. We're out there doing it. And I remember at the end of one of the runs, looking over at Jack Quaid, and he was white as a ghost. And I was thinking, oh man, no, he's actually got he's feeling seasick. But no, it wasn't. He was terrified. He saw his life flashing before his eyes, and it scared the living hell out of him. That's for sure.
I was so impressed too, because I was behind him, standing next to Butcher. And I saw Jack, he was holding on, and the boat was moving and it was catching air, and he just looked like a boss in the front of the boat, but I didn't see his face. I just saw the back of his head.
Yeah.
You see his face, the poor guy is literally seeing death right before his eyes.
And we had a safety word, and we'd negotiated the safety word before we started that sequence, and the safety word was Karl. And allegedly, as soon as we start, he's screaming, "Karl, Karl, Karl!" Well, I can't hear him, because what we failed to account for was the fact that there was a helicopter hovering above us, and the speedboat, the noise of the speedboat, you just couldn't hear anything. And so poor Jack is up the front, freaking the fuck out. And and I'm just like throttling down, going even faster and faster. But yeah, the season, Eric's mandate was to really all just, take the characters deeper and really test them mentally and push them and push for more character development, for in a bid to get a very rich story at the expense of, he said, listen, it would be a mistake to try and go bigger than season 1. But in reading the scripts, not only did he go deeper, but he totally went bigger. The set pieces in season 2 are just mind-blowing. Season 2 is like season 1 on Compound B. It's like high octane shit. It's great.
Well, it's great. And you know what? We're looking forward to, and congratulations on the announcement on season 3. Thank you so much. And I want to share, I had talked to you before, Karl. Here's our selfie.
Oh, that's rad. Where was that taken?
For the Guardians of the Galaxy. We had a one-on-one.
Oh, cool.
So it's an honor to see you again. Thank you so much.
Great to see you.
Likewise.